Hello students, we're almost getting towards the end, in which we're going to learn how to create the 7 basics. By using spagyrics, you can create the 7 elixirs, one for every day of the week. The sun elixir on Sunday, the moon elixir on Monday, and so on. This will harmonize each system of the body and start the process of balancing you. You definitely are what you eat. If you use these 7 elixirs over time, you will become harmoniously balanced. I wanted to show you some of the symbols that alchemists use. I am hoping that if you wanted to come to the next class, which is Alchemy 102, that then we can explain more and learn how to use the symbols. Remember that all these symbols were used because of the secrecy of alchemy. In Module 5, we're going to learn alchemical processes. The 7 basics. It is said that the aptitude of the artist, more than the process itself, is what makes alchemy. The divine art. This attitude and energy becomes transferred to the matter being acted upon and affects the outcome of an operation. The energy is released again within us from the elixir in a more noble state. It's like you're the lead which is transmuted into pure gold. As with any new skill, we start with simple things and progress to more complex operations as our skill and experience leads us. We have to become and go somewhere, and these simple procedures form the beginnings of a fascinating process of self-transformation. In alchemical processes, we're going to learn what are the differences between alchemy, chemistry, and spagyrics. While in chemistry, we mix and combine the ingredients through a process and we obtain the same result. No matter who does the experiment, if you follow the instructions correctly, you will come out with the same thing, the same product. It is universal, regardless of who or when it's done. This is pretty much analytic and organic chemistry. We produce dead materials or bodies. Chemistry, it is said to be unphilosophical. However, alchemy, this is not the case. In alchemy, different results depending on the time or who. Thus, what we're saying is the will, the experience, and even the timing of an astrological event could affect the outcome in spagyrics. Alchemy is therefore philosophical. The processes used in laboratory alchemy strive to capture and preserve the operation of subtle essences in a vehicle suitable all the way to the material analog. Between 1600 and 1700 occurred a transition period between alchemy and the new science of chemistry. It is during this time period that we can find some of the most clearly written descriptions of processes used in alchemy. Apothecaries of the time were acquainted with the processes and used them to compound certain medicines. This branch of the pharmacy at the time came to know as spagyrics and related mostly to the preparation of plants. Spagyric preparations became widely popular, but due to the processing time and labor, they faded into obscurity at the hands of faster and cheaper substitutes developing the today chemical industry. Some writers say spagyrics is the work on plants and alchemy is the work on metals. In truth, alchemy is a universal process that works at all levels, whereas spagyric processes are fundamental to both Alchemy, in addition, seeks to promote the matter's evolution. In a practical sense, spagyric leads to powerful medicines for the body. Anyone who follows the methods can produce spagyric medicines. There is no strong dependence on the operator's state of mind. However, alchemy aims to produce medicines for the soul and the spirit, levels of the being as well as the body, and the operator is strongly linked to the material operated upon. Alchemy kind of reminds me of massage therapy. Remember when we talk as a massage therapy, obviously you have to prepare yourself because every person has different energies. And if you give a massage to one person, you might be picking up some of those energies, or mojo, or however you want to call it, negative energy, right? And this could affect your physical and mental state. The proper state of mind is essential for success. Everything is on the wheel. For example, once you have purified your essentials to a certain degree, they become very susceptible to mental impressions by those around them, good or bad. Have you ever felt that you met somebody and they kind of give you a bad feeling, even though you have never met them before? This is another reason for secrecy surrounding alchemical works. This is another list in which we have all the elements of what we call now the periodic table, and some of the compounds that were more used at that time. We were talking about mental impressions, and that brought to mind this work. These over here, as you can see, are pictures of water. Water that has had messages written on them. You can see how the positive messages such as angel, I love you, or truth, or thank you, have a more perfect and distinct form because of the vibration, compared to those such as you made me sick, evil, or polluted water before prayer. Remember, the proper state of mind is essential for success, no matter what you're trying to do. Alchemy is more than laboratory work. It's the spiritual path leading to one's evolving of human self-consciousness. It is a marriage born of intellect and intuition, and the alchemist or artist is allowed to see or handle these materials to create something beautiful and elevated spiritually. This is the Magnum Opus, or the great work. Philosophers agree that the process consists of stages, which are repeated over and over again, on the matter until perfection is obtained. These stages or operations represent the active principles of work in nature, whether we're speaking of the work on plants, or metals, or our own body and psyche. The alchemical work is not just a spring cleaning or a detox session from which you fall back into the same routine. Instead, it's a true and lasting purification. Some people might call this a lifestyle. In the next lecture, we're going to be talking about a portion of the great work which has to do with the transmutation of the alchemist himself and our interior stars. Thank you for listening to me on this next lecture, talking about ourselves and how we can elevate our psyche and power as alchemists. I'll see you in the next lesson.